Thank you so much. And now let's begin with today's test. Here we have the first question for reading. Writing blanks on the screen. And you have to solve this in 2.5 minutes. And then post your answers in the chat box, please. Please time yourself, all of you. Particularly on Thursdays, do time yourself that you've already taken 3 days of practice. Thursday should be a test for you that what all you have learned. So 2.5 minutes, the first question, and you can start now. All right, should be done. Please post your answers, those who haven't, and we are ready to start the discussion. You don't learn from your mistakes. The first one is one of the dash topics taught in first year undergraduate chemistry courses is the organization and layout of the periodic table of elements. So one of the topics taught, the sentence is complete, topics is a noun. So we have to find out what kind of topics are we teaching. Essentials is not a word that can describe topics. Fundamental topics means basic topics, and yes, it is possible. One of the second is not possible, and functional is also not a type of topic. So we'll go with one of the fundamental, means the basic topics taught in first year is this and that. However, many university students consider it a dash and difficult subject to master. The second word after and they have used is negative, difficult. So we also need a negative word here. Some word that can describe a subject. So a subject can be difficult. Forbidden is not a word that can describe. Forbidden means prohibited, not allowed. This is not a word that can describe a subject. Cheering is positive. Incredible is also positive, but as we discussed, we need a negative word. So the only option we are left with is daunting. And even if you don't know the meaning, just a silly hint, but yes, most of the words that start with D are negative words. But you should have eliminated in this case also. So daunting subject, daunting means something you fear with, some fear about, or something you're worried about. So in that sense, we use the word daunting. Prompting professors to seek new ways to engage their students and make its concepts more dash. So because it's difficult, students feel it difficult, students feel it is fearful. So that is why professors try to find out new ways to engage their students and make its means the concepts of the subject more dash. So the professors will want to make the concepts optional, resistant, accessible, or implementing. So we can make the contents of a subject accessible. Accessible means easy to grasp. Easy. Here the meaning of accessible is easy in their reach. They are trying to find out new ways to teach periodic tables so that everybody can understand that. Everybody can reach to that understanding. So in that sense, they have used accessible here. Resistant is like we can say iPhones are water resistant, so they are not affected by water. That is how we use the word resistant. Optional and compulsory, we understand. Implementing is to put into practice. That's how we use implementing. We cannot make the concepts more implementing. We'll make the concepts more easy to understand. That is accessible. Previous educational studies dash the table in different formats. So previous, there are multiple studies, and previous obviously means in the past time. So the studies dash the table in different formats. So what do the studies do with the table? Studies presented the table. So we can say that the previous studies presented the table in this form, and the modern studies have presented the table in this form. Are presenting cannot be the answer because the sentence starts with previous, so it has to be past tense. So are cannot be the answer. Are going to means future. Again, future tense cannot be the answer. Had been presented. Had been is passive voice, but we don't need passive voice here. We need active voice because studies have done the work. Whenever the doer of the work is written before the blank, then it is active voice. So we'll simply say studies presented the table in different formats such as crossword puzzles and cartograms to address multiple types of learning styles. And in the end, they say, and rather than teaching the full details right away, the researchers wanted to focus on some of its key characteristics first, using a contemporary, engaging, and multi-level dash. So with a comes plural noun, is it? Many of you have written context. Is context. So first thing you should be eliminating is plannings and context because there are multiple answers. And with comes a noun. Tactical is not a noun, so we are left with only one option, which is strategy. So using this strategy, these were the adjectives to describe the strategy. Having three words doesn't mean that you will put a plural noun there. You will have to check the noun with your article, not with the adjectives. So these are the answers. The first one is basic topics. That means fundamental topics. We needed a negative word in the second blank. Cheering and incredible are positive words. And forbidden means not allowed. Not allowed is not an adjective to describe a subject. So they wanted to make the concepts easier. So for easier, we didn't have the word easier. So we'll go with accessible, which also means to make it within their reach. And then previous studies cannot be future, previous studies cannot be present tense. So we have to go with past tense, and the sentence is active voice. So we will not select been. It will be previous studies presented the table in different formats. And the last one, we needed singular noun because a is written here. So that's why the answer will be strategy, right? No, Shaliza, so you cannot. This is very too obvious to think that if the first sentence is past tense, the whole of the passage will be past tense. They generally keep on mixing the tenses because they refer to the information. If they start with present tense, then can go back to refer to something in the past tense. So there can be change of tenses. But here we are using past only. Presented is past tense only because of the word previous. And as I explained, had been is passive voice, but the sentence is active voice. So that is why we cannot put had been. After article comes nouns. So Neha, there can be exceptional cases where one word is ing and after and the second word is not ing. It's not a very rule of thumb, cannot be said. Sometimes it is possible because they need a positive word and the other positive word is only ing. So it is possible. At the end of the day, see, contextually it is possible. These rules are just to give you a direction that which way you should start thinking. But don't give yourself too strict of a rule that ing will only come with ing. There are exceptional cases possible. But most of the times, yes, it is the same way. Right, so I hope the first question is clear. And question number 2 on the screen, you have 2.5 minutes for this, and please post your answers after that. Okay, post your answers, those who haven't. They say, so an individual's financial stability dash careful planning, goal setting, and the flexibility to adjust strategies. An individual's financial stability requires careful planning. Required means it is not now requires, not now required. It was required in the past. So if you're putting required means this is a past situation. Financial stability is requiring means at this time it is requiring or has required. So the statement, the first statement is a fact, and facts are always written in simple present tense is a rule. So the financial stability requires careful planning today, tomorrow, yesterday. It always required financial careful planning. So even if you have to do financial stability today, if you want financial stability, you will have to plan. So it's a factual statement. So financial stability requires careful planning, goal setting, and the flexibility to adjust strategies when unplanned situations dash. So for situations is plural, so we cannot have a verb with S. So first of all, we can eliminate appears. Situations don't jump in front of us, and situations are not sleeping or awakened, but situations do come in front of us. So we say whenever the situations arise. Simply means whenever we face those situations. In fact, one of the things that jumps out at you in the study is the dash difference in the sentiment between those with a financial strategy. So when you read the sentence without the blank, it was complete. In the study is the difference in sentiment. So whenever the sentence is complete and after the blank we have a noun, we always put adjective in this case, means what type of difference. But otherwise, this question was even easier because stark difference is a collocation. Stark difference are two words that come together, and stark difference means very obvious difference between, very clear difference and very contrasting difference, but very obvious one. That means stark difference. Sheer difference is not a collocation. So it is stark difference in sentiment between those with a financial strategy, whether developed before or during 2020, and those without one. And then they say what we will call the armed versus the unarmed. 68% of the armed respondents reported feeling financially stable, and 69% of them financially dash. Those who have written unstable, try that you are changing your methods and your habits, because if you will be so rigid with your approaches, it is going to take very long for you to score. A lot of times I've told you to read till the full stop and don't stop reading in between a sentence, even if you are sure that what my answer is. Now, writing unstable means, first of all, you did not read the sentence carefully. They were not going opposite. Second, the sentence does not finishes here. They say, first of all, they said 68% of them, they said they are feeling financially stable, and 69% of them means of these people only. 69% of those feeling financially stable, they said they are feeling financially dash. Even if we don't understand this, they say the latter meaning they could recover quickly from difficult conditions. So this word means they would recover quickly, and we are writing unstable. And a financially unstable person means that he can recover quickly. So the answer was resilient, financially resilient. And resilient is a very common, bit new, but a common word. Coming in blanks, resilience is the ability to bounce back from whatever negative has happened in your life. Their emotional resilience, their financial resilience. That means whatever, if you have faced something like a financial crisis, you can come back, you can come over that. That is financial resilient. So please read the sentences complete. Hyphens always explain what does the last word means. They even specified the latter. Latter means the last mentioned word. meaning they could dash or recover quickly. So or means the words would be mostly on the same side. So any word that means recover, positive word. Resist is not positive. Beard, we don't need ed form, we don't need ing form. Withstand is also first form. Recover is also first form. So we'll go with that. Withstand or recover quickly. Withstand means to bear the effect, or means to stay unaffected. So you are bearing means you are strong, you are facing it. That is to withstand the pain or withstand whatever financial loss in this context is happening. That means to strongly face it, and or otherwise recover quickly from those difficult situations is called to withstand something. So these are the answers. Facts are always given in present tense, simple present tense, which was the rule applied for the first blank. The second one, situations arise in front of us. Stark difference is a collocation, which means very, very clear, very obvious difference. And some people were financially stable, and out of them, some were financially resilient. They have written the meaning, which means they could recover quickly. They can come back, they can overcome. And first form of verb between or, recover, and withstand is the only first form of verb given to us. So even if we don't know the meaning, you should be going with that. Sheer is more used with when you want to say a powerful feeling towards something. Then we say sheer. We don't need adverb, Nitika. What did I write here? When the sentence is complete and there's a noun written after, we write adjective, and absolutely is an adverb. When the sentence is complete and after the blank is a verb, then we need adverb. If the sentence is complete and after the blank is a noun, we don't choose adverb in that case. We choose adjectives in that case. Resilient means to strongly face something and to overcome something, to come back stronger whenever you have faced anything negative. So you face it strongly and you bounce back. That is resilience. Right? Okay, I hope it's clear now. Devita, stark difference, I said, means very obvious difference. So it's a collocation. You can note it down in your collocation list. Stark difference is a collocation. No, sheer difference can be written contextually, but it's not a collocation. You cannot say it always comes together. That's not the case. So you have question number 3 on the screen and 2.5 minutes for this. Please post your answers once you have done. Are we done? Okay, let's begin. This says it is widely believed that the dash of becoming exceptionally competent in certain fields depends on the presence or absence of inborn dash. So when we have a blank after the or we have a blank before of, we put a noun in that case. So it is believed that the dash of becoming exceptionally good in certain fields. So the chance of becoming, likelihood and chance slightly same. Chance is very unacademic word and likelihood means possibility, which is an academic version of chance only. Sorry, we cannot say the maximum is not a noun, probable is not a noun, so these cannot be the answers. So we'll select likelihood over chance being a more academic word. That the likelihood of becoming exceptionally competent in certain fields depends on the presence or absence of inborn dash, variously labeled talents or gifts. Means whatever word comes here, we can also call it talents or gifts. That means we needed a plural answer. So if we look at the options, there's only one plural option, which is attribute. So that will be the answer. We do not even need to consider the singular options. And then they say, according to an informal British survey, more than 3/4 of music educators who decide which young people are to receive instruction believe that children cannot do well, dash they have special gifts. So children cannot do well unless they have, unless is used when you put a condition after. And until is with respect to time. Except is when you put an exception, one thing which is not matching to the other group, that is exception. And as soon as, doesn't figure, as soon as means again with respect to time. So they believe that children cannot do well. So this has nothing to do with time. They are saying children cannot do well unless they have special gifts. Means those students who do, those children who do not have special talents, they cannot do well. So having a special talent is the condition that is being discussed here. And most of you have got it correct. They cannot do well unless they have special dash gifts. Now we have to define gifts. Which gifts are we talking about? Intimate, inherence, innate, or instinct. So maybe you know this. So inborn, something which we are born with, which is the context going on, is called innate. This is also a very common word used in a lot of blanks in the exam as well as in the portal. The abilities and the gifts we are born with, the talents basically we are born with, are called inborn or innate talents. And then in the end, they say it is also widely assumed that the innate talent, it was given also here, that makes it possible for an individual to excel can dash in early childhood. So the last answer would be that if we have that talent, if we are born with that talent, can dash in early childhood. So everybody will come to know about it even in the early childhood. So we say can be detected in early childhood. It's not that we'll have to wait for a person to grow or to become an adolescent, only then we'll come to know. For example, if a child is very good in singing or he or she has interest in singing, she or she will start singing from the age of 4 or 5, not like professionally. But you will come to know that he likes singing. So that is his innate talent. If a child is very good in drawing, he or she would be very good at the age of 3, 4, 5, 6 only. So we come to know that okay, this person is going to do something in arts field because he has this innate, inborn talent of drawing. So that means that these things can be detected in early childhood only. So these are the answers. The first one, chance, possibility, likelihood. The least academic option is chance, more academic possibility, and the most academic likelihood. Second answer should be plural. That is why it is attributes. Others are singular. Third one, they cannot do well unless they have a special gift. So unless means this is the condition to prove to do well in life. And special, which gifts is the topic going on? Innate gifts means something you are born with. And then we can detect these talents in the childhood, in the early childhood. So we can say can be detected in early childhood. No, even then likelihood will come even if you have chances, because it's not based on the singular plural thing, it's based on more academic word. Until is used with respect to time, like you cannot go out until you finish the work. So that's with respect to time, not a condition. In that, this example that I gave, we can put more unless and until. But until, for example, to be very specific, we say that until the 19th century means till the time 19th century. So that is we use with time. Inherence is a word related to inherent, and here inherent would have been fine. Inherent means something that comes in our genes. Inherence is also used in the same context but cannot come here because where is the sentence? Yeah, because here we don't need a noun, we need an adjective, and inherence is not an adjective. So a word which is more used in written English language is more academic than the one that we use daily in our daily life, in our daily conversation. So that is less academic, and the one which is more in written English is more academic. Okay. All the modals come with first form of verb. Right? Are we clear with this one? So we are not putting detect with can 𝗙𝗃, we are putting detected with be, and with be comes third form of verb. So if you say can be detected, your verb won't be considered with can, your verb will be considered with be. Right? So you have question number 4, the second last one for reading writing blanks on the screen. And you have 2.5 minutes. Please post your answers. Okay, let's look at the answers. This is one of those questions when students come back from the exam and they say, no, reading was very difficult. There were so many words whose meanings I did not know, and it was not easy. I could not understand. So all these things happen only because you try to know the meanings, whereas it is not required. The daunting number of jobs lost by women during the coronavirus pandemic is only the beginning of the story. Yes, it's widely recognized that women have taken the dash of the nation's total job losses. We need a noun before, of, after the comes the noun. And if you pick up the easy words, women have taken the dash of job losses. So women have taken the fall of job losses. No meaning out of it. Women have taken the overwhelming is not a noun, it's a feeling. Women have taken the fact of job losses. Again, no meaning. There's no fact of job losses that men or women can take. There was a word brunt whose meaning even I did not know, but I was very sure that this would be the answer. And this level of surety you have to have in the exam, that even if you don't know the meaning, but other three are so easy to eliminate that it doesn't make sense with needing a noun and then putting it with the important words. They are still down 5.3 million versus 4.6 million for men, even with the economy having dash somewhat off its COVID-19 lows. So somewhat is also an adverb. You can add it to your list. With the economy having dash off its COVID-19 lows. So they say this is still the case that women are unemployed, even with me, something positive has happened, still they are unemployed. So writing style tells us that this has to be something good with the economy. So even with the economy having dash off, economy having bounce off, so when have it should be third form of verb. Having recovering, having rebounded, or having gained. So there were two only past forms, gained and rebounded, which are grammatically correct. And we cannot say the economy having gained off. Economies never gain anything, but economies do come back from the lows to the highs again. So that is rebound. Rebound means to bounce back. With the economy having rebounded off its COVID-19 lows, and yes, it's also recognized that many moms were forced to drop out to look after their kids after schools went dash. So this was very common word being used a lot of times these days, that online learning, remote learning. So we don't have online here, but we can go with remote. Remote was another word being used for online learning. With nearly 4 out of 10 currently working women still actively considering doing likewise, according to a survey. But what's not talked about as much is this, the potential long term dash of having had their financial security. So before of, we need a noun, potential long term result, import, account, or consequences. There cannot be just one result or one account of leaving the job. There will be so many consequences about their financial security. Potential long-term consequences of having had their financial security and career prospects dashed by the pandemic. So by means it's a passive statement. That means we need ed form of verb. And if we look at the options, there was only one ed form of verb, which is upended. All others were ings or present tense. So again, active passive voice is important, singular plural is important, has, have, had is important. If you're looking at those, you really don't need to classify any question as easy or difficult, because the rules remain rules. So this is the first one is brunt based on elimination method. Second is based on grammar, having rebounded. Having rebound is not right. Ed form is what we need. Remote learning is online learning based on context. There cannot be one result of so many people. 5.3 million women have lost their jobs, and we can say one result. No, there will be a lot of consequences about their financial security, about their career prospects. Dash by the pandemic, and by means passive statement, so ed will come. Ing cannot come in that case. For example, you written any sentence like having completed the work I am allowed to go out. We cannot say having complete the work, having done the work, not having do the work. So having comes with third form of verb. I hope it's clear now. Any confusions, anyone? No, economies don't gain some anything. We are talking about economy has done something. So economy has bounced back. We cannot say economy of Australia has gained. Economy has improved. Economies don't gain. Gain is used for profit sense. No, Diksha, that is for helping verbs only, having, because has and had does not have ing. So having comes with ed form. The last question for reading writing blanks for today, and you have 2.5 minutes. Please post your answers. Easy question. Bunch. Where is option Z given? Overexcitement. Okay, let's see. Academic writing refers to a style of dash that researchers use to define the intellectual boundaries of the discipline. So it refers to a style of impression, declaration, utterance, or expression. So we are talking about a writing style. So what do we do when we write something is writing or speaking are ways of expression, ways of expressing what we are thinking. So that is utterance is not the answer. Utter means to speak. So writing, academic writing is refers to a style of conveying the ideas. Conveying would have been fine, or expressing is fine. So expression basically is the answer, because this way of writing is not only used for declaring, this way of writing does not leave any impression, and this way of writing is not speaking. Utter means to speak. So this way of writing is to express that researchers use to define the intellectual boundaries of the disciplines and specific areas of dash. Areas of expert will be a human being. We cannot have areas of expert. Areas of with of means which areas are they talking about. Proficient is an adjective. Proficient, you must have heard, all of you, proficient English, superior English that we need for our permanent residency. And expatriates is a verb. So areas of expertise is at least a thing. Then what is their area in which they are expert? That is called areas of expertise. Characteristics of academic writing include a formal tone, use of the third person dash than first person. So rather than is easy collocation, conjunction here, rather than first person perspective. A clear focus on the research problem dash investigation. So if you just think that what word we use with investigation, and we must have heard this case is still under investigation. So we use under and investigation together. We don't say into investigation, under investigation. And precise word choice. Like specialist languages adopted in other professions such as law or medicine, academic writing is designed to convey agreed meaning about complex ideas or concepts for a group of experts. So group of experts are the people. Which kind of experts? Group of scholars experts, but scholars means people, and scholars is itself a noun. We cannot write two nouns together. Scholars and experts make sense. Scholars experts cannot make sense. Academicians experts, again academicians itself would be people, so we cannot have people together. So we need to define what kind of experts. Refereed are no definition of experts. Scholarly experts. Scholarly here won't be adverb. Ly does not mean it's used as an adverb. Scholarly is defining here the type of experts. People who are scholars, those people are called scholarly experts. Right? So these are the answers. The first, any way of writing, maybe it's academic writing or general writing. Any way of writing is a way of expression. Whatever is going in our thoughts, in our minds, in our understanding, we express it by writing is what is the meaning of this sentence. And then areas of expertise means areas in which they are expert. That is called area of expertise. So even in job fields, I think we have that this person is an expert in marketing. So marketing is his expertise. That is how we use the word expertise. Rather than as a simple conjunction, and under investigation, like we always say under with investigation, and group of which kind of experts, the people who are scholars, those will make a group. So that is called scholarly experts. Any confusions, anyone? No, not really a grammar rule for second blank. Basically, it's areas of what, which areas. So for what we cannot say adjective or verb. So you have to have noun in that case. After of, if we need a verb, then we put ing form of verb, but then the sentence does not finish there. So for example, I am sick of trying hard. So of trying, if we put a verb, it should be ing form, but here we don't need a verb because here of is used in terms of what. So of what means we need a noun here. Yes, areas here, see, that's what I'm saying. Here you cannot identify that this area, specific areas of dash. So areas is also a noun, but you need to find out area of what, which area basically. So either you can take it as an answer to which area, then also we need a noun. All right, so let's move on to reorders. No, of does not have a very fixed rule, but yes, there are multiple rules. Like if you need a verb, it will be ing form. You cannot put a first form of verb after of. I'm tired of trying. No, trying only will come if verb is required. Then most of the times verb is required after of. Okay, so the first question for reorders is on the screen and you have 2 minutes to solve this and then post your answers, please. Remember this rule for reorders, that majority of your sentences, if they're talking about one thing, they will be paired together and then will come a sentence which is slightly different from those other 3 or 4 or 2 sentences. So like here, the first sentence is B because that's where we have the topic. The self-assessment asks a number of questions about your organization across 12 areas of estate management to help provide assurance that the estate is being managed effectively. So we are basically talking about the self-assessment, which asks questions. So now most of you have written C after that because question and answer is what you are linking together. But look at what are the other two sentences are containing, and if the other two sentences are more related with the sentence B. For example, they are still talking about the tool, the purpose of the tool. Now, if let's say you're putting C in between, you're writing the self-assessment ask question, and you should answer each question with yes or no or in part from the drop-down list provided. And then the purpose of the tool. When you've already said do this and do that, and why are you coming back to the purpose of the tool? The tool means you are referring, and in the previous sentence, you haven't talked anything about tool. So the tool means you are referring to the self-assessment tool. And then second, that's why second is D. The purpose of the tool is to help you develop strategic estate management in your organization. So you can add comments and evidence and proposed actions. This is the purpose of the tool is to help you. This is one way it works, and you can also use it to do this also. So you can also use means also always tells us that you have to talk something related first. This is the second use. So what is the first use is what you should ask yourself. The first use, obviously it is helping us means we are using it. So the purpose of the tool is to help you means one, we can use it to develop strategic state management. Second, we can also use it to identify who will lead on the identification section. And once we have completed talking about the tool, we have explained everything about the tool, then you switch over to you should answer each question with yes or no or in part from the drop down list provided. So please look at which sentences talk about the same topic. The majority of the sentences are talking about what, and then move on to the new topic. Right? So here you have question number 2. 2 minutes for this and then post your answers. Okay, should be done. Two options. This is a good method. Let's see. So the first one was very clear, and all of you have got it correct. The phase third semaglutide treatment effect in people with obesity randomized controlled trial involved these many adults who were either overweight or had obesity. This is the topic. And then there was a direct reference, the trial. So the trial means just we talked about the full name of the trial. So we'll say the trial took place at 129 sites in 16 countries across Asia, Europe, North America, and South America. And then what happened in the trial started with E. Participants took a 2.4 mg dose of semaglutide weekly via subcutaneously injection, similar to the way people with diabetes inject insulin. So this is going in order. This is the topic. It happened in these many places, and then what happened in was participants were told to do this. And then we have one more sentence which is still talking about the study. So we'll complete the study first. Overall, 94.3% of participants completed the 68-week study, which started in autumn 2018, because this is the study going on. And then we had one sentence which literally wasn't matching anywhere. So I put it at the end, and yes, it is in the end only. Those taking part also received individual face-to-face counseling, and every 4 weeks they were given guidance and strategies and motivation, because it does not fit anywhere else. So the first 4 sentences about your study, one after the other in order, and then one which is talking about the same participants, but it's not in the study, so out of the study topic. So this will be the answer. Why can't A come after E? Because E is talking about what the study was about, so they had to take the medicine. And taking the medicine has nothing to do with counseling, or is it? Participants took weekly via injections, or do you think also received? Four and 5. If we think like this, that because of also, so we can put it at number 4 also, thinking that one, they were to do this, and they were also given counseling at regular stages, and then we can talk about the completion of the study. A bit better actually. So we'll go with 4 here and 5 here. Otherwise, there must be something to tell us that this is not 4, or this is talking out of the study. Better. So A and B is better than BA, right? All good with this one now? C, D, E, A, B, yes. Right. Question number 3 and the last one for today. 2 minutes for this, and then post your answers. Done. The first sentence is F. How often a person takes daytime naps, if at all, is partly regulated by their dreams, according to new research led by investigators at MGH. The full form of MGH was given in this sentence. So this is the first one and published in Nature Communications. And then they talked about a research here. So we'll continue. What happens is in this study, the largest of its kind ever conducted, the MGH team collaborated with colleagues from other university and institutions to identify dozens of gene regions that govern the tendency to take naps during. So this is what they have done. Here they said they collaborated to identify. So this is the work. And then they also uncovered, this is also what they have done. So they have done thing number one, they have done thing number two. And then in the end, there's something different. Napping is somewhat controversial, something in inverted commas said by a person. And I think we haven't talked about this person earlier. No. So if there would have been other inverted commas, we can link this with that. But the topic was research. So first we'll talk about research and then the individual opinions about the research can come into. This was easy. So also is very important, which you noticed in the previous question and you forgot in this one. Those who are putting A at number 3. So this is the answer. And these are all the reorders for today. You have your first question for reading blanks on the screen and 2 minutes to solve that. Okay, should be done. All correct answers. The first one is 1/3 of people who took a new drug for dash obesity. So 4 comes with ing for treating obesity lost more than 1/5 of the total body weight. The findings from the large-scale international trial are being dash as a game changer. So with being comes third form of verb. So are being hailed is the right answer. For improving the dash of people, so we can improve health of people and could play a dash part. So play a major role, a major part is how we use the word major in helping the UK to reduce the impact of diseases such as COVID-19. The drug semaglutide works by hijacking the body's own appetite regulating system. So what does it hijack basically is the system in the brain leading to dash hunger and calorie intake. So leading to reduced hunger only then they can lose weight. If it will promote hunger, they will gain weight. So easy enough. Any doubts, anybody? No questions? Leading to, no, this is not, reduced is not being used as a verb. Reduced is being used as an adjective to hunger and calorie intake. Leading to what type of hunger? Leading to reduced hunger. Here too is not an act, reduce is not an action. It's a type of hunger here. Okay. All right. No, and that's what I just said, Nitika. Here reduced is being used as an adjective defining what type of hunger it is, not as an action. So question number 2 on the screen, and you have 2 minutes to solve this and then post your answers, please. Should be done by now. Good. Meditation is the dash of focusing attention. So we know meditation is a practice. We do meditation, often formalized into a dash routine. So there's a fixed routine for meditation, that is specific routine. Meditation is dashed as a component of Eastern religions. So with is comes third form of verb, we can say it is recognized as a component of Eastern religions, originating in Vedic Hinduism, but it also developed independently in Sufism. Meditation can also be used for development. So what kind of development? We normally say meditation is for our own personal self-development that we do it. So that is the answer. Not unique. Unique would be like something which is common, and the opposite would be unique, means different from others. But here meditation is done for not for others, it's done for our own self. That is called personal development. Right? Don't make these kinds of easy questions wrong. And believe me, these types of questions do come in the exam. And we make mistakes. It's not right. Don't always try to make things complex. If it is simple, if it is something about general knowledge, go with that. No, unique will come with a, because for unique, the sound of U is considered the sound of Y. So vowel does not come with unique. Okay. Question number 3 on the screen, and 2 minutes for this. Please post your answers. Okay, let's discuss. Additionally, the study found that brain dash led to higher quality reinstatement of memories in the brain. This is a concept. Brain stimulation is a topic in itself. Reinstatement is when the brain replays or dash an original event. So first form of verb with S, we'll also put first form of verb with S. Replays or dash an event. So replays or relives an event, means just re-go through the event. This person said, following stimulation, a person's brain activity while watching a video more closely dash their brain activity when remembering the same video. So noun was basically they wanted to say this brain activity dash the other brain activity. And most of you have written enhances. Can one brain activity increase the other brain activity? And what is the activity? One brain activity while watching a video more closely and can closely increases make sense? And then some of you have written analyze. Activity is singular. How can you write a verb without S? So the answer was more closely resembled, means it was very closely same to the other brain activity when remembering that video. So the brain activity while watching a video closely resembled their brain activity when remembering the same video. This is why remembering can sometimes feel like mental time travel. Our findings show that stimulation dashed this mental time travel. So stimulation is singular, we need a verb with S and we are left with only one. Stimulation enhances, means increases this time travel in the brain and improves memory dash. So memory playing or memory accuracy, memory playing is no thing. So it improves the accuracy of the memory, means when we remember, when we recall the right things, accurate things. Right? Any questions? Resembled can come without to also. This is no rule that resembled always comes with to. All clear with this one? Poor performance. Written analyze in full stop. What does this mean? Improves memory analyze. Improves is also a verb, then memory, and then again a verb. Last one is accuracy. Okay. Question number 4 and the second last one for today. 2 minutes for this, please. So let's discuss. This says parents are often exposed to a lot of information about infant sleep. So a lot of what type of information? Contradictory, because the passage tells us that it's kind of confusion they are talking about. They shouldn't worry if the baby doesn't sleep dash the night. So we only have one preposition given. Into the night is not possible. So we'll say through the night, because night would be a period of time. So we'll say through the night at a specific age, because sleep patterns dash a lot in infancy. So patterns is plural, so we need a verb without s. Sleep patterns differ a lot in infancy. She also notes that parents and clinicians should both be dash that occasional sleeping through the night. So this was the hint that you can use through with night. So both parents and clinicians should be known or should be aware. So should be aware of, because it's a fact written after, should be aware that occasional sleeping through the night does not indicate a consolidation of this behavior. The sentence is complete. Indicate is a verb, so we should look for adverb. Should does not necessarily indicate. Now those who have written known with be, so do you want to say that if I say this sentence, you should be aware of the situation? It is wrong grammar. Exceptions are always there, so don't go anything with too strictly rule of thumb. At least frame a sentence that, do I know this, that be and aware come together? Have I ever read this in my school, college, university, in these 26, 30 years of my life? If you have read it, it's right. So every rule has some or the other exceptions. So be and aware do come together. Contradictory statement is not here, Shailaja. They say contradictory information, because the context was talking about that they are worrying that the sleep patterns are not same. Means everybody is giving them different information about how much time a baby should sleep. That is called contradictory information. That means not matching information. During the night is also fine. So here they wanted to say, they have said through the night because they wanted to say that maybe like they said that if where is it, the last sentence, occasional sleeping through the night, that he sleeps some parts of the night, that is why it is through the night. They wanted to highlight it as a process rather than a period of time. So that's why it is through here. Lot of various information. Lot of already means plural, so how can we say lot of various information? Lot of means plural information. We say lot of various information. Where have you read this? Lot of various types of information still makes sense, but lot of various doesn't make sense, because lot of itself means plural. Okay. And the last question for today, number 5, when you have 2 minutes for this, please post your answers. Okay, should be done. Well done, good answers. The first one is Seven West Media has become the largest Australian news media business to dash a deal with Google. So strike a deal is a collocation. Strike a deal basically means to complete a deal, to finalize a deal with Google to pay for journalism in a partnership announced Monday before the nation's parliament considers draft laws to dash digital giants to pay for news. So we do comes first form of verb and we have only two first forms. Draft laws to need digital giants, not to force digital giants, because to need digital giants to pay doesn't make sense. To force them to pay for news. Google and the publicly listed broadcast television, print and online publishing company announced. So it is complete. Announced is a verb, then we will go with adverb here. So we have only one adverb. They jointly announced that they had dashed on a long-term partnership. Something that goes with on, they announced that they have agreed on. Agreed on is also a collocation. Agreed on means they have finalized again this thing. So they have agreed on a long-term partnership after weekend discussions Australian government ministers had with media executives. So these are the answers. Any confusion, anyone in this question? Strike a deal, that means finalize a deal. To make a deal, to complete a deal, that is called strike. Agreed on and upon, both are right. Agreed with is also right. It's used in a different context. When you agree on a topic, you say on. When you agree with a human being, you say agree with. Unique is different from others and specific means fixed. Stark difference is the collocation. Means clear difference, obvious difference. Admitted in is also fine, like admitted in the hospital. Admitted to the university. So in and to both can come.